Hey, Jim Malone here from njhypno.com. Thanks for tuning in. This is the first in a series of videos I plan on putting together for you that share some techniques you can add to what you might call your first aid kit for stress. If you're feeling out of sorts, it's perfectly understandable. I think most of us are, given fears of the disease, the disruption in our lives, the isolation, and the fact that you can't do a lot of the things that probably made you feel better, in normal times. Although, that's going to come back at some point. But for right now, you got to be able to take control of what goes on in here, even though we don't really control what's going on around us too much. Now, with this technique and the other ones I'm going to share with you, there's a couple tips I have. And the first one is when you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, I want you to step back and to rate your stress. A 1 to 10 scale is probably the easiest way to do that. Let's say 10's the highest, 1 being the lowest. The purpose of doing that is it lets you know how well a technique is working for you. In fact, if you practice something for a time and it doesn't seem to have much of an effect, you move on to something else. But if you do notice an effect, you can take heart in the idea that, hey, I got some control over what's going on inside of me. So after you've rated your stress, with this one, it's pretty simple. We've all seen pictures of mummies. You're going to cross your hands just like this, resting the hands on your collarbones. And if you want to follow along right now, you can if it's safe for you to do that. You let your eyes become closed. And you're going to take 5 to 10 easy, deep breaths. Nice and slow. And, those 5 to 10 breaths should take you anywhere, from 30 to 60 seconds. It doesn't have to be exact. But chances are you'll notice a calming sensation at some point. And then you can decide to open your eyes, just let your arms relax, and rate your stress levels at that point. And a lot of people find this one helpful, and I think it works on 2 basic principles. One, for some reason, the feeling of pressure here weight here is very comforting to a lot of people. In fact, some folks like to use weighted blankets when they're feeling overwhelmed. Another reason, and I think this is probably even more so, is that when you have your arms like this, it restricts the movement of your chest and your shoulders and forces you to take a proper diaphragmatic breath. You can look this up, that when we breathe, allowing the stomach to relax and expand as we inhale and kind of fall back in as we exhale, that allows for a deeper, fuller breath naturally. Because all too often you'll tell people take a deep breath and the first thing they do is they puff out their chest and suck in their stomach. And actually that's not going to calm you down. But just this gentle motion of the abdominal area can put you in an easy state because it stimulates what's called the vagus nerve, which controls your stress response. So I encourage you to practice that. I hope it helps. I also want to let you know that I have phone and Skype sessions available. If you want to connect that way, you can learn more at njhypno.com. But most importantly, go out, take good care of yourself and your loved ones, and feel free to connect if you like. Take care.